Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Salette Sports Network, where we're coming to you live, broadcasting from the Crater, the home of the Clifton Central Comets, where the Lions have traveled to play in their 12th season game. Record 4-7 currently. I was not here for the last game, but my fellow broadcaster Kevin Quigley was here. And Kevin, you liked what you saw last season game. What did you see and what did you like?
Right, Michael. So what I saw that I was really happy about was the starting lineup that the Lions put out. They had their normal lineup that they've been playing the past several games with Fitzpatrick, Martin, Blood, and Prather, but the one addition was Matthew Marrow, and putting him into the game. He started at the beginning of the season, but he was on the bench for a little bit. He's come back in. Now with him in the game, Fitzpatrick and Romero, they're in the backcourt, and that frees up Eamon Martin, who had been playing shooting guard, to now take the forward position. And because he's doing that, he's getting open for threes. He's making threes, and because he's making those threes, the defense starts to commit to him, and everyone else gets open for threes. Last game we saw threes from Eamon, Matthew, Fitzpatrick, as well as Blaze Laronia off the bench. So I think that starting this lineup that we're going to see again from the Lions tonight really, really opens up the offense for them.
And now coming to you with the Clifton Central Comet starting lineup. We got number 4, Jace Meyer. Number 5, Matthew Larson. Number 23, Caleb Meiser. Number 25, Amarin Paxton. And number 12, Luke Chauvin. The Clifton Central Comets did come away with big victory against it was against the
Cissna Park,
Timberwolves. Thank you very much.
That was the first game of the season that the Lions won in the the second game. That was the first game that they won in the St. Joe Ogden tournament. We did play Clifton Central last year in our first ever IHSA game. That was a moment to remember, and we came away with a resounding victory. So hoping to follow that up again tonight.
And this game is going to start off with the jump ball won by Clifton Central and a quick pass right out of bounds, giving the ball straight to the Lions. Fitzpatrick is going to bring the ball up the court. Almost a quick three from Matthew. He's going to hold on to it. Passes it to Eamon Martin at the top of the key. Eamon holding on it, swinging. Gives it to Matthew Romero. Drives in, pulls back out, gives it to William Fitzpatrick. Gets it into the high post to Augustin Blood, number 3, over to the corner to Matthew Romero. Matthew into Augustin Blood in the post, takes drive to the middle, pulls it out to Eamon Martin. Eamon drives, penetrates, shoots, and that one's going to roll off the rim, no good. Chuck goes around, he's going to be blocked. Rebound number 25, Amarin Paxton. Clifton going the other way. That three's from Jace Myers, that's no good.
And we're going to get the referees are going to call a timeout. There was, it looks like a small plastic ball that rolled out onto the court. Looks like a ping pong ball, so referees have to stop play so that they can get that off the court. But ball comes back into Fitzpatrick. He gets it tipped away by number 4, Meyer.
Number 5, Matthew Larson's going to put it in for 2, first points of the game. Clifton Central puts 2 on the board. Lions going to try to get something here on offense. Fitzpatrick picks up his dribble in the backcourt. He's got about 5 seconds to get it across. Matthew gets a nice pass into Eamon Martin. They're past the 10-second line. Eamon trapped, and that's going to be a jump ball. Number 23, Caleb Meister, gets his hands on the ball. That's going to be a jump ball. And since Clifton Central got the tip off, the possession arrow's in the Lions' favor, so they're going to keep it.
Clifton Central in the full court press right now. The Lions have never had too much trouble breaking the press. They always take a little bit to get across, but they never really struggle in against any of the teams they've played. But that's definitely going to be a factor in tonight's game, whether they can get across the half-court line efficiently.
And the Lions' good ball movement right now. Eamon drives baseline, throws up another floater. No good. Gus Blood comes up with the rebound. Good offensive rebound there from number 3, our big man down to the post. Matthew Romero on the left wing. Swings it to Fitzpatrick over to Eamon Martin on the right wing. Looking for it. Gives it to Matthew at the top of the key. Matthew drives in. Pulls back out outside the perimeter. Gives it to William Fitzpatrick at the top. William Fitzpatrick swings it over to Matthew. Matthew's going to take a 3. And that's going to roll off the rim again, just like all the other shots of the Lions so far. And that ball is going to go off of Myers' head, I guess behind him. Fitzpatrick comes up with it. Matthew Romero now with it. Gives it to Eamon. Eamon doesn't take the three. Holds on to it. Gives it to Matthew Romero. Swings to William Fitzpatrick. William gets the screen from Charles Prather. And the first timeout of the game, Coach Spezia calls a 30-second timeout to try to discuss what's going on offense. And there's those three opportunities that you were just talking about. Matthew had one early in the game, and we haven't seen that a lot this season, you know, open threes that we can take.
Right, there's been a couple games where I think that we've had no threes made. We've had a couple attempted, but none made at all. And then to see last game against the Hudsonville Palestine Wildcats, to see them come away with, I think it was 6 threes that we had made in that game. That's just great, and I think that we'll be able to keep that up. It's a slow start to tonight's game for both teams. The Comets having a few more good looks for shots, but nothing falling with the exception of the one layup.
And, you know, sometimes it just takes a little bit of time for the Lions to find their rhythm and get their shots to start sinking, but hopefully that can start soon before the fourth quarter ends.
And Martin takes another three, no good.
Number 23 for the Comets. Caleb Meister is going to get the rebound. Ball the other way. Top of the key. Meiser with it. Takes the shot. Meiser no good.
And Eamon with the steal. He's taking it down the court now.
He's going to give it back to William Fitzpatrick. Over to the wing to Matthew Romero. Gets it to Charles Prather at the corner. Now Fitzpatrick over to Eamon Martin. Over to Matthew Romero. Nice ball movement. Drives in. Nice dish off to Gus Blood. Gets everyone off their feet, but he holds on to it. Gives it to Fitzpatrick. Almost loses it. Over to Charles Prather at the corner. Charles holding on to it. Gets it to Eamon. Eamon doesn't take the three. Gives it to Matthew. Matthew fakes it. Doesn't take it. Eamon fakes it. Drives. Gives it to Fitzpatrick. Fitzpatrick swings it to Matthew. Matthew to Charles. Into Gus Blood. Almost stripped from him. Gives it to Matthew. Matthew's second three of the night. And that one's no good. Meyer with the rebound. Going the other way. In the corner. Eamon grabs that. Picks it off down to the paint. Holds on to it. Gives it to Fitzpatrick.
Fitzpatrick can drive it on the left side. Now he's open. He could at least try and suck the defense in, but he pulls out. We've seen just pump fake after pump fake from the Lions. If they just one of these times just pull up, the defense might be so used to seeing all the fake shots that they won't even come up to guard it, and they might get away with something open.
Fitzpatrick takes the three, a little bit outside, and there we go. Fitzpatrick sinks the three. Not a particular high-scoring player, but he's going to put the first 3 points on the board for the Lions.
And he was not up to the line either. He was a little bit far back, so the defense didn't really come up to cover him, and he just knocked that one down.
Chauvin's going to get the rebound for Clifton Central Comets, and he's going to put an easy bucket in for 2. And there's going to be a timeout called by Clifton Central. They can talk about, get a couple subs in the game.
So I'm really happy that with all the ball movement that the Lions have had, they haven't had any turnovers coming from bad passes. They struggle with that a little bit with passes down low to the post. They've turned that over a lot, but this game, they're not passing down to the post if it's a risky pass. They're only getting it into Gus when he's open, and then he tries to get something to work from there. I think the only way that the Lions are really at risk of turning it over, the way they're playing right now, is missed shots. So if they can just keep taking good shots and making them, then they're going to be in pretty good shape.
And I'm really happy with the ball movement of the Lions right now. You know, they're getting it around, and as you just said, they're holding on to it, keeping the ball in their hands, not turning it over. That's what we want to see right now. Good ball movement, making holes, and that got William Fitzpatrick his 3. Just got to keep seeing that, and I think that's from this new lineup that the Lions are putting on tonight and last game. It's going to be Lions ball. Charles Prather, high post, gives it to William Fitzpatrick. Over to Matthew Romero. Eamon Martin gets it outside the perimeter on the wing. Holding on, gets the screen from Gus. Fitz with another 3. He's going to sink that one. William Fitzpatrick.
Back-to-back deep threes from Fitzpatrick. Both of them off a pass from Eamon. Defense coming in on Eamon. And then Fitz wide open for the deep 3. 2 possessions in a row.
Ball drives from Clifton, and there's going to be a foul on the floor. Shot does not count. That foul is on number 24, Matthew Romero, his first, team firsts. Haven't been any fouls in the first 5 minutes, 62 seconds of this game. Clifton's ball, they get in it easily. That shot's no good. Tipped off of the hands of number 35, Camden Jurdes. It's going to be Lions ball. Fitzpatrick with it, gives it to Eamon Martin. Eamon drives, swings it over to Fitzpatrick, holding on to it way outside of the perimeter. Dribbles, gives it to Matthew. Pass almost picked off by Meyer. Eamon holds on to it. Matthew Romero gives it to Fitzpatrick. They're jumping out outside of him to make sure he doesn't take a three. Eamon now with it in the corner. He's going to take a three, and they're going to sink that one. Eamon Martin. The Lions lighting up the three-point line in the first quarter, 9-4. Lions are up.
Lions jump out to the lead. They were down by 2 to start the game, and what a save from Eamon, and what a catch by Matthew to save that from going out of bounds.
And the Lions, you know, this is the first time that I'm just looking out there, and they just look comfortable out there, taking shots, doing what they want to do out there, playing hard offense, and this is just great to see from the Lions tonight. Good hustle from the Lions. Chauvin had too much of a lead there, and he was able to put 2 points in for the Comets. Charles Prather, he's going to take a jumper. That one's going to bounce out, no good. Jurdes with the rebound. Chauvin over to Meyer. Meyer's going to drive in, gets it into the post to Jurdes, no good. Eamon Martin's going to come up with the rebounds. Fitzpatrick almost travels, does not put his foot down. Charles Prather with it in the corner. Looking for something. Gus Blood to Eamon Martin. Eamon's going to take another three. That one's not going to fall. Gus Blood comes up with the rebound. Eamon and Fitz were already on the other side of the court, but they come back quickly. Fitzpatrick now with it. Finds Matthew. Matthew holds on to it. Finds Eamon, and that one's going to go out of bounds.
That's really the first sloppy pass we've seen from the Lions, and that's been a bit of a struggle, like we were saying, especially getting it down to the post. But yeah, that's. I don't think that we've seen any other turnovers coming from that in the first 7 minutes of play. Lions up now 9-6.
And I would like to give a big shout out to an alumnus of La Salette, a former basketball player who's commented, thank you very much, Manny Garcia. It's great to hear from you, to see that you're watching these games. It's most enjoyable to watch you out there playing basketball. Thank you so much for commenting. Also, one of our teachers at La Salette, Mr. Gazzoli. Thank you very much.
Lions in the timeout right now, and this lineup is just clicking. We haven't seen any substitutions yet. I think the coaches are happy with who they have out there, and I'm just hoping that it'll be a while before the Comets can figure out how to stop this lineup, because they're just keep creating open shots.
And Martin Paxton's going to be going back into the game for the Comets. Meyer taking it up the court, gets it past the 10-second line. To the corner to Larson, all the way over the court to Meyer. Meyer gets it back to Larson. Larson drives, gives it to Martin Paxton. Into the middle, jump shot no good. Ball tipped around, and Eamon's going to come up with it. Nice play there. He's going to be double trapped, gets easily past that. William Fitzpatrick now with it. Gets it to Eamon Martin. Eamon back to Fitzpatrick, over to Matthew Romero. Nice pass into Charles Prather. Good ball movement. Other side of the court, Eamon Martin. Back to Fitzpatrick. Top of the key. Matthew Romero now with it. Drives up, holds onto it. Takes a step to the middle, gives it to Eamon Martin. 11 seconds left on the clock. Eamon dribbling around, gives it to Charles. Over to Fitz. Fitz is going to take his third three of the game, and he is going to sink that one. Fitzpatrick pulling a little Curry movement. Hit 3 for 3 threes in the first quarter, lighting up the three-point line. Fantastic plays from both him and Eamon Martin coming out of nowhere. Great play from the Lions for the first quarter. And, you know, I'm going to 100% agree with you, Kevin, from this lineup. This is looking like a very strong offensive lineup for the Lions, where in the past we've seen the Lions have a little bit hard time to struggle and get the ball into the hoop. But, I mean, tonight's game, the Lions are having no problem reversing the ball, finding open shots, and taking them.
Exactly. All 12 points so far in this game have all come off of three-pointers. The three from Fitz and then the one from Eamon, and 3 3-pointers in 1 quarter is that's impressive on any level, let alone high school where you're playing 8-minute quarters. You know, in the NBA they have 12-minute quarters, so that's 50% more time to score 3-pointers, and Fitzpatrick knocking down a elite level of threes in 1 quarter.
And the Lions do have to be careful because, as you just said in the NBA, the NBA players don't even have above 50% shooting percentages, so at some point the shots are going to stop falling. So they do also have to make sure that they're driving to the basket and putting points up. They got to be using their post players if they want to continue to put points on the board.
And this is the perfect time right now because the defense is going to spread to the outside to try and stop the 3-point shot.
Exactly.
So they'll be weaker down low.
Meyer gets it into Amara Paxton. He's going to put it up for 2, way over the back, over the hoop. No good. Charles Prather is going to come up with a rebound. Fitzpatrick's going to take it. He finds Matthew Romero into Charles Prather. Charles holding on to it. He's struggling. Finds it to Eamon Martin. Good find there by Charles Prather. In the corner, Matthew Romero with it. Drives up top, gives it to Eamon Martin. Eamon holding on to it, gives it to Fitzpatrick. He's going to jump out, take the 3, and there's the first miss for William Fitzpatrick. That one's no good. And Larson's going to give it to Meyer, and the first 3-point for the Comets is going to be made. The score 9-12, 7 minutes left in the first half. Fitzpatrick gets it over to Matthew Romero. Matthew puts the ball on the ground, gives it to Eamon. Nice ball movement. Charles has the wide open, and Martin Paxton's going to come in with the block. The ball's going to stay with the Lions. And Charles got to be careful of that. I saw Martin Paxton coming in from about the second dash mark, and he came in, blocked Charles. Gus Blood now with it, gives it to Fitzpatrick. Thinks about the 3, doesn't. Dishes it off to Eamon. Fitzpatrick over to the other side. Matthew, quick dish to Charles Prather. Put it onto it in the corner. Fitzpatrick now with it. Outside the perimeter, over to Eamon. Matthew, Charles. Charles gives it to Eamon. Eamon drives in, takes the jumper, and that one's no good. Larson with the rebounds.
Fitzpatrick trying to jump into the way of the passing lane. He likes to do that a lot. He's come up with a lot of steals this season by doing that. This is a really clean game so far. Only 1 foul combined from both teams. That's on the Lions. Romero with the rebound there.
Fitzpatrick's going to try to find something out there. He's going to get the ball to Eamon. Finds Charles, tipped off by Amar and Paxton. And that's something that the Lions have to be careful of. When Eamon drove in, he had to do a big floater, floated all the way back, try to get the shot off and not get blocked, and it wasn't good. So they do have to be present. They have to be aware of the height presence in the post on defense from the Comets. Eamon finds Matthew Romero. Fitz drives, gets the screen from Gus, holds onto it, gives it to Eamon Martin, now to Matthew Romero. Matthew picks up his dribble, gets it into Gus Blood in the high post, swings over, gets it to the other elbow, and they're going to call the travel on Augustin Blood.
And it's kind of interesting because the Lions historically always an undersized team, but this year we actually have a relatively big team with Laronia, Blood, Prather, Hall, and then even Kellerman when he's on the roster. All those players are over 6'3". But this team that we're playing is one of the few that we've seen. Paxton puts up a 2. One of the few that we've seen who's actually bigger than La Salette. That's probably contributing to why they've been taking so many threes, but it has worked, and La Salette's still up by 1, 12-11.
And that was some good ball movement from the Comets, but ball's now on the Lions. Meyer picks it out. Fitzpatrick recovers it, gets it to Eamon Martin. 4-on-5 now, but Meyer gets back up. Eamon Martin drives way outside the perimeter, drives back in. Fast ball moving, excuse me.
Really
fast-paced moving game. There we go. Matthew Romero. Spin move, gets the ball poked out from him from Paxton. Meyer throws it in. Gus Blood somehow picks that mid-air. Fitzpatrick now with it. Matthew Romero on the wing, gives it to Gus Blood at the nice pass into Eamon. Eamon's going to drive another floater, and that's somehow going to go in. Nice shot there from Eamon Martin. Met by Amarin Paxton, was still able to get the shot off.
Paxton's 6'3", and he can certainly jump, and when he jumps, he goes up to block it. Eamon knows that, and that's the second time where he has taken a long time to pull it back and let it go. Charles Prather looks like he got hit on the face, so he comes out. Referee call a timeout.
And that was a good time because it looks like Larson was cocked and loaded to shoot a 3, but he didn't fire because the officials called a timeout. Might be a little bit of blood, so Charles has to come out quickly while they can just put a quick Band-Aid on that. But he looks perfectly fine. But Elijah Hall is going to take his place out on the court right now, and it's going to be Comets ball. And as you just said, Amarin Paxton likes to jump up and block, and the Lions can use that for their advantage to just pump fake and grab a foul. Get 5 fouls quickly on him.
And Elijah Hall is going to be able to draw the foul on number 21, Logan Fritz. I'm not quite sure if that was Elijah, but whoever it was, that was a push on the Comets going up for the rebound. So Losslet gets the ball back, up 14-11.
Elijah Hall with it down in the post, and he's going to be called for the travel. And looking to come into the game is Mr. Blaze Laronia, number 5, coming in for Elijah Hall. Coach wasn't too happy with that travel on Elijah. And Blaze is a very diverse player. He can shoot. He can also drive into the paint, put some layups on. He's got that height. He can get rebounds. He's also pretty decent at handling the ball. So he can do, I guess, a jack of all trades. Crazy shot, but the Comets no good.
But the Comets going to out-rebound the Lions, and Fritz able to put that one up for 2, pulling Clifton Central within 1 of the Lions.
Blaze Laronia in the corner with it, gets it into the post to Gus Blood. Gus Blood holding on to it, gets to Fitzpatrick. Holding it at the top of the key, takes a dribble, and that's going to be a kickball on Larson. And it looks like Coach Bezio wants the players to come to the ball. Fitz was kind of stranded out there, outside the perimeter holding on to it. Luckily, there was a kickball.
And I'm wondering a little bit, because that's happened a couple times where Gus is in the high post and he gets trapped by 3 of the Comets, but then I look at the rest of the court and the Losslet players are just in such a position that even though there's 3 Comets on Gus, no one else is wide open like they should be. They'll have to try and remedy that as Blaze has it in the corner now, gets it out to Fitz.
Fitzpatrick, Matthew now aiming in the wing, gets it all the way to Fitzpatrick. The Comets really jumping out on Fitzpatrick after his 3 threes. Aim's going to take another floater, another jump shot, excuse me, and that one's good.
Over the head of Paxton again.
Eamon Martin really just dropping points right now with his 3 earlier and his 2 jump shots. Ball being reversed by the Comets. Number 12 in the corner shoots, no good. Larson with the rebound, spin move, gives it back to Chauvin. He's going to drive, gives it to Meyer in the corner. He's going to get it into the paint to Chauvin. Nice ball movement there, nice look from the Comets to put 2 on the board. 2 minutes left in the first half. The Lions are down by 1.
The problem there was that both Gus and Blaze had to come out and play help defense on the ball coming in from the corner, and they left the paint wide open.
And even though that did leave him open, it's good because they needed to protect the ball. It's, first defensive rule, make sure that the ball is being stopped. Fitzpatrick swings to Matthew Romero. Matthew finds Blaze. Blaze fumbles it, recovers. And he's going to be called for the double dribble. Chauvin gets it to Larson. Larson, ball tipped by Eamon, and he's going to step out of bounds. It's going to be Comets ball. Larson inbounding. Finds Meyer at the top of the key. Into Amarin Paxton. Matthew Merrill, the only one down there. He's going to miss his layup. And Chauvin's going to get his rebound. He's going to put it up number 21, Fritz, is going to get his rebound and put that in for 2, and the Comets take the lead by 1. Lions got 1 minute, 3 seconds to take the lead back. Patrick holding on to it, gets it into Matthew. Ball tipped by Meyer, going the other way. And that might have been a travel there, nothing called. Hard brick, nothing. And the foul's going to be on Gus Blood, number 3.
The Lions not doing a very good job right now boxing out. They keep, whenever they're going up for a rebound, they're on the outside and the Comets are on the inside, and they're not going to get a rebound that way, especially against the team that has a height advantage.
Charles Prather comes back in, and Martin Paxton with the pass to Meyer for the 3. That's going to bounce out hard, no good. Martin Paxton, nice dish off to Fritz, who puts it in for 2, increasing the lead by 3. Eamon with it. Got to get past Meyer, does, and he's going to draw the foul. Nice there by Eamon Martin to stop the clock with 31 seconds. Going to be Lions ball. Eamon inbounds it. The Comets back off the press, and Fitzpatrick's going to easily walk past the 10-second line. Fitzpatrick is taking his time, 20 seconds, clock ticking. Matthew with it in the corner. Ball tipped to Martin Paxton, comes up with it. Lions lose their chance to score at the end of the half. 11 seconds ticking. Meyer with it, swings it to Fritz. And Charles Prather comes up the rebound. They might be able to score. He's going to put it in, and he's going to get fouled with 3 seconds left. Might have spoken a little bit too soon. Charles can still put 2 points on the board.
Right, but Charles there, he didn't really have, he did have time to pump fake, but as he was running down the court with 5 seconds, he probably didn't feel like he had that time, so he went up and tried to put the layup, and he almost got it to fall even as he got fouled.
And Charles knocks down his first free throw, so he might score those points, and he got a foul on number 21, Fritz, who's been getting a couple rebounds for the Comets, so that's good. From Charles Prather. He's going to take his second one, and he's going to barely miss that one. Martin Paxton comes up with the rebounds. Larson with the shot. He's going to hit that buzzer beater with Charles Prather's hand in his face. The score 21-17. The Lions really coming out strong at the beginning of the first quarter. And then Comets slowly pick back away at the scoreboard and are able to pull away by 2, 19-17. But to see how the Lions are able to come back, please come back in about 10 minutes where we can watch the Lions continue in this varsity basketball game. But until then, this is Michael McCall and Kevin Quigley. Thank you very much for tuning in.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Salette Sports Network, where we're about to kick off the second half of the Lions game against the Clifton Central Comets. Lions down 22-17. There was a buzzer beater jump shot for 2 points right before the end of the second quarter, and I was watching the scoreboard, and they didn't start the clock right away, so I think that probably shouldn't have counted, but the ref said it was good, so those points do go on the board for Clifton Central. But either way, the Comets are up.
And, you know, this game, especially in the first quarter, I was just so happy to see, you know, how William Fitzpatrick is playing. You know, he's not really a player that puts a lot of points on the board. He's more of a player that passes the ball around. But, I mean, he decided to show up and look a little bit like Stephen Curry, number 30. Started dropping threes like left and right, putting 9 points on the board in the first quarter for himself personally. And then Eamon Martin showed up, dropped a three, put in a couple nice jumper shots. And, you know, it was strong ball movement. However, the Comets just slowly scraped back at the scoreboard and were barely able to take the lead at the end. And then that buzzer three-pointer was able to put them in the lead by a little bit more than they were, 22-17 now. And as we get going the third quarter, the Lions are going to get the ball. Eamon Martin hold on to it. A nice pass into Charles Prather, recovered by Paxton. And the ball's going the other way. Meyer gives it to number 12, and at the top of the key, big long shot, no good.
Gus Blood going to come away with the rebound and draw the foul. That's important to stop things for the Lions after they went down and weren't able to get anything going on offense. They had nice ball movement, just like we've seen this whole game, but weren't able to come up with a shot.
The Lions now with it, Matthew Romero over to Eamon Martin, Eamon to Fitzpatrick. Fitzpatrick doesn't take the screen from Charles, but he's going to give it to Eamon. Now on the right wing, drives to the middle, gives it to Matthew. Quick ball movement to Fitz. Charles Prather, quick pass to Matthew. Wide open shot from Eamon. That's going to bounce out, and Gus Blood is going to come up with the rebound. He's going to go up for two, and Gus Blood is going to get the and one. Big spiral on his face, going into the charity stripe to make it a three-point play. Substitution for the Comets. Number 10 is coming in, Blake Chandler. Gus Blood lines up, takes a shot, and it's not going to go in. Paxton with the rebound. Gives it to number 12, Chauvin. He's going to get it to the corner.
And that pass just goes right into the hands of Eamon Martin. Clock once again isn't running. Clock! And I just helped out the scorekeepers by yelling down to start the clock, and they did, so I finally did something besides just talk about and, you know.
Exactly. We do have a purpose here. We are helping out on the court. And there's another substitution for the Comets. I believe number 5 comes in. And he's going to hold on to the ball right now, looking for something. Gives it to Chauvin. Chauvin drives to the top, gives it to Meyer. Now over to Larson. Larson's going to take a three, and he's going to sink that one. 25-19 now. Comets bringing the press. Eamon very close to a travel there. Gus Blood with that. Gives it off to Eamon, Charles Prather, easy down to the post, throws up a shot, barely no good. Gus Blood comes with the rebound, and out of instinct, Chauvin is going to reach out his hand, touch the ball, and the ball's going to stay with the Lions.
And yeah, even though Gus didn't come up with the rebound there, he basically saved the possession for the Lions. Otherwise, it would have just gone straight into the hands of Clifton Central.
And, you know, this is very aggravating because the Lions are playing really good offense, moving the ball around, getting good passes in, and the Comets just come down and don't really do anything, hit a three, and the Lions are still in a little bit of a hole for scoring. But Eamon's going to take another three, and that one's dead on, but it's just not going to fall. Paxton with the rebound. That shot looked beautiful. I thought it was going in, but it didn't. Meyer's going to drive, quickly met by the Lions defense. Now Larson with it, takes the jumper, no good. Charles jumps a little bit too early, and Meyer is going to throw it off the legs of Charles Prather, and it's going to be Comets ball. Nice play there by number 4, Meyer. Charles saw it coming, but just was not able to move quick enough to get out of the way. Holding on to it. Lob pass to Larson. I don't know why he took that shot, but it's going to be a pretty big air ball, and Charles Prather's just going to open his hands. The ball's going to plop right into it, and Fitzpatrick taking it up the court, gives it to Matthew. Eamon now with it, or passes to Fitzpatrick. That shot's not going to be good. And Larson's going to go the other way. Gives it to number 10 for the three, no good, and the small man, William Fitzpatrick, comes up with a rebound. Fitzpatrick doing a lot of things tonight. Now back in the hands of Fitzpatrick, gives it to Matthew. Matthew making space for himself, gives it to Eamon. Eamon drives baseline, met by Paxton. Rebound, Charles Prather comes up, strong rebound. Nice fancy footwork, and he's gonna lay it in for 2. The Lions down by 4.
That's Charles's 5th shot attempt and only the first one that he made. He did get fouled on one of them earlier in the game and got a free throw from it. Charles fighting for the rebound, and he's going to draw the foul on that rebound attempt and give the ball to the Lions.
And that foul is on Paxton. There we go. We need to get a couple fouls on Paxton. We want to get him out of the game. Rack up the fouls. He is a very big presence on offense and defensive rebounds. And Ronan Ta is going to come into the game. A sloppy pass picked easily up by Meyer, who's going to go down the other way and lay it in for 2.
Ryland's struggled a lot with turnovers this season, and that is not how he needs to start his time in this game.
In this fast-paced moving game, the passes need to be strong, quick, and direct, exactly where they need to go. There's another pass that's too soft. Fitzpatrick's, with his quickness, is able to jump on top of it. Eamon Martin swings to Ryan Ta. Ryan holding on to it, trying to make space for himself. Finds Fitzpatrick. Nice pass there. Fitzpatrick over to Eamon. Eamon into Gus Blood. A nice bounce pass. Finds Ryan. Ryan with the jumper. That's his favorite shot, and that's going to round out. And Paxton with the rebounds. Comets going the other way. Larson with it. Gets it into Paxton. Gus tries to steal it. Crazy jumper there, or a floater there from Paxton. No good.
Ryland able to come away with the rebound on that play, gets to Fitz, who brings it back up the court now.
Ronan holding it on the wing. Blaze Laronia is looking to come in. Eamon now with it. Had Chuck open, doesn't give it to him. Gets past Meyer, gives it to Ryland at the top. Over to Fitzpatrick. Back to Ryland. Over to Eamon. Eamon holding it on the left wing. Gets past his defender, gives it to Ryland. Ryland to Fitzpatrick. Fitzpatrick takes dribble to the middle. Now Charles, quick pass to Eamon. Eamon, please make this. Takes the shot, no good. Gus Blood doesn't come up with the rebound. Meyer going the other way. And Fitzpatrick sets up for the charge. It's going to get knocked over, called for the blocking foul. And it's going to be an and-1. Shot's good, and he's going to the free throw line to make this a 3-point play. And Martin taking a breather.
Coach Spezia opting for size in his lineup right now with 3 players that could all be playing center, all out there for the Lions. Gus, Chuck, and Blaze, as well as Ryland, the forward. Fitz is the only true guard out there, but I assume that Ryland will be joining him.
And Blaze Laronia comes up with a big rebound, brings it down aggressively, and gets it to Fitzpatrick. Fitzpatrick finds Ryland on the right wing. Fake pass, gives it to Blaze Laronia. Blaze Laronia holds on to it in the corner. And there's a pushing foul on number 23. Does not look too happy about that. But that's on number 23, Caleb Meister.
Ryland comes out of the game. Daniel Bergman comes in.
Ball's inbounded to Fitzpatrick. Has Daniel open, decides not to give it to him. Now, no, he will not. Gives it to Charles Prather now. He had Blaze Laronia, but Blaze kind of tripped, and the pass is too far. No good. Turnover.
Looked like Charles was expecting him to cut outside, and Blaze went inside, so by the time he passed, it was too late, and Blaze didn't really have the reaction time to turn around and change his direction, so Comets ball again.
Trying to find something. They drive to the middle. Number 10 throws up a shot. That goes in. Blake Chandler for 2. Bergman holding onto it. Gives it to Charles Prather. Breaks the press. Gus Blood catches it in between his legs. Gives it to Fitzpatrick, who has the 3, doesn't take it. Blaze Laronia now for a 3. That one's short. No good. Rebound by number 21, Fritz. Chandler with it, gets another break in the defense, finds the basket, puts it in for 2.
Comets are starting to pull away right now. The Lions have to stop the air momentum. Clifton Central up by 12 right now, and Jace Meyer is checking into the game as Chandler gets the steal, but travels.
And I think that was a good situation because Matthew and Eamon are coming back in to get the starting lineup. Hopefully they can find their rhythm again. However, Fitzpatrick is going to stay. He's going to go off the court, and Elijah Hall is going to go in for Gus, so this is not the starting lineup. Daniel Bergman staying out there.
Eamon inbounds to Romero, barely gets it in as Meyer was overplaying, and Romero's going to be called for a travel. That was definitely a clear travel. He was forced to pick the ball up and was moving too quickly, so his feet slide.
Lions got to be really careful on their turnovers right now. They cannot afford them after the Comets just keep putting basket in after basket. There's going to be another and 1 on the floor. Number 21, Logan Fritz goes up for 2, gets fouled. He's fouled by number 11, Eamon Martin. That's Eamon's first foul. Team's second of the half. And that free throw's good. Jurdez checks back in for the Comets. Eamon gets it to Charles Prather. Quick pass back to Eamon Martin. Matthew Romero now with it. Finds Charles Prather on the other side of the 10-second line. Back to Eamon Martin. Quick pass to Matthew Romero. Daniel Bergman in the corner with it. Finds Matthew. Now gives it to, finds Eamon. Now gives it to Matthew. Charles with it. Spins around trying to find something. Elijah Hall gives it to Eamon. Eamon takes a 3. And he's going to be fouled
on the floor. So Lions going to get the ball out of bounds. It took a while for the ref to call it. The ball was almost to the hoop by the time he blew his whistle.
And I don't think that foul's, I don't think someone fouled Eamon Martin. I think somebody fouled Charles Prather down in the post to push in the back. So there's going to be no shots. It's going to be Lions ball inbound. Daniel Bergman with it in the corner. Pass to Eamon. Nice quick pass to Charles Prather. It goes up for 2. Jurdez swats. That was close for him. Could have fouled Charles, but Charles is going to lay it in for 2. 23-36. Nice defense by the Lions. Swings it over. Picked off by Charles Prather, our big man. Going the other way. Jumps, fakes, and slips. Almost makes it. The court a little slippery out there, it looks like. 20 seconds left, third quarter. Number 10, Chandler with it.
Clock winding down for the Comets. They're going to look to shoot. Lions need to be careful not to foul. Ball cross court to Chauvin. His three-pointer is good. Clock was winding down and no one came to get the ball from Eamon. So the clock runs out.
And that was a big hit from the Comets right there. After taking the lead, they took their time, winded the court down, and then took a shot and made it, landing a three-pointer to put them in the lead 39-23. And the Lions leaving their Coliseum to come and face the Central Comets in the Crater. So
I don't know if there's any other team that we've played at least that I can remember, that has named their gym. Like, we, of course, have the Coliseum, but I don't know about you, but I think that the Lions in the Coliseum sounds a lot better than the Comets in the Crater.
But I do have to say, with personal experience, the Coliseum's atmosphere is a lot louder, and it is, as a fan, more enjoyable to be in with all the crazies and the atmosphere. And, of course, our delicious and nutritious concessions, as Mr. Gazzoli always likes to say. But the Lions are going to come out to meet the Comets in the fourth quarter, trying to pull back this lead, put points on the board, and it's going to be Comets ball. Meyer taking it up. Paxton with it in the corner, guarded by Daniel Bergman. Chandler gets it in the corner. Quick pass over to Meyer. He penetrates into the middle, puts up a layup, and the Comets are going to continue to put points on the board. The Lions right now are not able to prevent the shots from falling. Fitzpatrick picks up his dribble, and Meyer's easily going to pick it off, but Eamon's going to recover it. Daniel Bergman with it in the corner. Finds Gus. Gus almost tipped off, and he's going to recover it. Gets Paxton off his feet, and he's going to draw the foul from Paxton. Nice play there by Gus Blood. You knew exactly what he wanted. He wanted Paxton off his feet, got him off his feet, and drew the foul.
And that was a great play from Gus, because he very easily could have given up a little bit and just settled for the jump ball, but he kept going in. He got a dribble off and got Paxton to basically fall on him.
And he's going to take his first free throw. Very high basketball IQ moment there. His first one's not going to fall. A couple subs coming in for the Comets. Meyer and Jerdez are going to come out. With a lot of noise from the Comet fans, Gus is able to sink that shot, bringing the score 24-41. Comets ball. The ball tipped by Eamon, and somehow that's going to be the Comets ball. I thought number 21, Fritz, touched it last, but might have bounced it off the legs of Eamon, or might have hit Eamon's legs. It's going to be Comets ball. Pass inbounded to Chandler. In the corner, finds Paxton. Gus Blood meets Paxton. He's going to take a shot, no good. Fritz comes up with the rebound. Paxton with another rebound, and he's going to be fouled on the shot. Going to the free throw line.
Lions struggling all game long with securing rebounds. Clifton Central's a bigger team. They have players out there who can jump, and even with that, it just seems like the Lions unable to get good positioning to box out, and they haven't done a very good job of that, and as a result, they've gotten out-rebounded a lot.
The Lions, they really need to box out, get their defender out of the way, grab the rebound. We saw Blaze Aranya with a couple of aggressive rebounds. Also, Gus Blood has some great rebounds this game, along with Charles Prather. And there's another rebound from Charles Prather. He gets a quick pass to Willie Fitzpatrick. Willie Fitzpatrick with 7 minutes left on the clock. Charles finds Gus off his feet into the hands of Paxton. He's going to hand it off to Chandler. He's going to take it up the court. Eamon Martin comes up with it. He's going the other way. Eamon Martin, he's going to lay it in for two, and he's going to be fouled. That's an in-one. Hoop shot counts. Eamon's visiting the free throw line to put an extra point on the board. Elijah Hall taking off his warm-up. Prepare to come into the game.
Elijah's going to come in for Gus. Gus turned that over on the last play when he was not a bad pass from Charles, but just a pretty hard pass, and it looked like Gus wasn't quite ready for it as Eamon knocks down his free throw. Great play there from Eamon Martin. The Comets have slowly pulled away. They're up by 15 now, 42-27. Eamon with another steal. And it's going to stay Lions ball because they're going to say that the Comets turn it over. Eamon really aggressive, diving on the floor to secure the loose ball.
Fitzpatrick takes it past the 10-second line. 6:32 left in the game. Gives it to Daniel Bergman. Nice pass into Elijah Hall against Paxton. The ball's tipped out of his hands. Lions going to keep it. And Meyer and Chauvin coming back in. Eamon Martin inbounding it.
Fitz open in the corner, shoots off the release.
And that's no good. Tries to get his own rebound, but Comets are going to come up with it with his big size disadvantage. And that was a desperately needed three from the Lions. Eamon Martin really turning it on, trying to get steals. A nice tip from Elijah Hall, falls into the hands of Larson. Paxton, no, Elijah Hall, or is that Eamon Martin?
That was Daniel Bergman that was able to grab it. Charles taking it down the court now. 3-on-1, and he's going to get fouled. Paxton got hit on the other end. He took a while to get up, so there was a big mismatch.
And the Comets are in the bonus. The Lions only have 3 fouls. Or I'm sorry, the Lions are in the bonus. The Lions only have 3 fouls, so that's great to see. Comets have 8 fouls. Charles Prather lines up, takes his first free throw, and that's hard off the rim. Lions really need to use this advantage of being in the bonus with just under 6 minutes left.
Charles misses his second free throw. That cannot happen. Like you said, in the bonus with the clock winding down and down in the score too.
Meyer had an open three, doesn't take it. Chandler drives in, he's gonna sink his shot.
Over the hand of Bergman. Charles Prather was the only person on his side of the court, and there was 2 people, so he had to commit to one of them, and Bergman came in just a second too late on the other player.
Fitzpatrick had Elijah, but he didn't give it to him. Daniel Bergman now with it on the left wing. Takes a dribble, picks up it, finds Fitz at the corner. Fitz drives around, gets it to Eamon. Nice pass there, back to Fitzpatrick. Into Charles Prather now, ball tipped out. By number 12, just a thorn in the Lions' side right now. Nice pass, and number 12, Luke Chauvin, is going to get fouled. That foul's on Charles Prather. He's going to the free throw line to shoot 2 shots. And the coaches, or the refs, excuse me, are looking at something on the floor.
I think that was from when Paxton fell on the ground. There's some sweat still on the court that they were wiping up so that no one slipped. But the Lions at half of the Comets foul total right now. Lions at 4, Comets at 8, so Lions still not in foul trouble. Blaze Laronia comes onto the court for Daniel Bergman, who, when he was out there, didn't do anything horrific, but didn't do anything terrific.
And that second shot is good, 45-27 now. Fitzpatrick gets it to Eamon. Eamon over to Charles Prather. Charles passing to Elijah Hall, has Blaze Laronia. Blaze holds on to it, might have been a foul there. Eamon gets it, he takes the jumper, that's gonna be short. And it's gonna bounce around. It's gonna go off the hands of number 15 for the Comets, Chandler. Gonna be Lions ball, 4 minutes, just under 5 minutes, 4 minutes, 59 seconds. Plays, gonna take a quick three, that one's tipped. Elijah comes up with the rebound. Nice pass to Charles Prather. Gets Chandler off his feet, puts it in for 2, 29-45. Meyer with it.
Lions still trying to chip away at the lead, down by 16 now. Elijah knocks the ball away and is able to create the steal. And then Charles Prather's going to get fouled. He's going to head to the line. Great play there by the 2 big men.
And Chandler wasn't too happy with Chandler was not too happy with that shot that Eamon was able to make. And then again, from the broadcasting station, Kevin putting up his hands to show that it's 1-on-1, and the ref looked up, noticed it. And Charles is now at the free throw line.
The ref was already doing it. I was trying to tell Eamon because he was standing under the hoop just wondering what exactly to do. And the one ref wasn't really saying anything, and the other one was putting up his fingers. So then they give the ball to Chuck now. He takes his first free throw. That one's good.
The Lions again down by 15. 4:35 left in the fourth quarter. William Fitzpatrick's going to take a seat after a really good game. Started off strong in the first quarter. Matthew Romero's going to come in for him.
Chuck buries his second free throw. That's important. Lions cut the lead to 14.
Got to play strong defense.
Meyer open for three, doesn't take it.
Quick ball movement. That's going to be no good. Off the legs of Meyer, going the other way. Eamon Martin's going to inbound it. 4:22, down by 14. It is plausible. The Lions are just going to have to work hard. Elijah now with it. Gets to Charles. Got to move quickly. Charles holding on to it. Gives it to Eamon Martin. Eamon to Matthew Romero. Matthew to Blaze. Blaze is going to take another three attempt. That one's going to go hard off the rim. No good. Meyer with the rebounds. And that pass is going to be no good. Exactly what the Lions need. Bad passes from the Comets.
The quicker they can get the Comets to turn the ball over, and the shorter the possessions that last for Clifton Central, the better for the Lions, because clock is winding down at 4 minutes right now.
Lions calling a timeout. That three right there by Blaze. He was open and needed to make that. Wasn't able to connect with it. Lions got to play strong defense. Their defense is coming on strong. Quick shout out to our old broadcasting buddy, Joseph Mackin.
Lions in the timeout right now. Coach Spezia drawing up what needs to happen. Blaze took those three-pointers from the corner. Both of them essentially the same shot, and he missed on both of them. I noticed that his ball wasn't quite spinning when he shot it. It was only very slightly spinning, so he'll have to fix that if he's going to want it to go all the way in.
Blaze is going to stay in the game, and it's going to be Comets ball. Inbounding it, Paxton is back in, easily picked off by Gus Blood. 4 minutes, 3 seconds left. Matthew quickly taking it up, Eamon with it on the wing. Passing it around, finds Gus Blood in the post, over to Charles Prather. Charles Prather moving, making some space. Eamon takes the three. That one's good roundabout. Charles Prather with the rebound, gonna go up, and he's gonna get the foul. He's going to the free throw line with 3 minutes, 47 seconds left.
Eamon's taken 7 three-pointers this game and only made one. He's had good shots, and they've been good shot choices, but he's only gotten a few to go in. Charles misses his first free throw, having to deal with a lot of crowd noise, but that's something that he's going to have to get used to.
And the Lions are now in the double bonus with the Comets at 10 fouls. He misses his second. Paxton comes in, grabs the rebound. Meyer, quick pass up the court, and I don't know why the Comets are moving so quickly, but they're going to miss another shot, and Charles is going to get the rebound. Meyer going to tip that pass off, gets it. He gets the steal, and Matthew's going to be called for the foul. That's going to be the team's 5th foul. Ball inbounded. Drives in. Meyer with it on the wing. Drives, throws it in. Eamon Martin tries to get the rebound, gets his hand on it. And it's going to go off the hands of Larson. Lions ball with 3:26 left. Eamon inbounds it to Matthew. Matthew back to Eamon. Eamon had Charles open. Gets the ball poked out from under him. Going the other way. Larson is going to go up, and Matthew's going to foul him. Brings the Lions to their 6th foul, close to the bonus.
They cannot foul again, otherwise their hopes for a win are practically gone. Down by 14 right now with 3 minutes. Is going to take a really great effort for them to come back.
Paxton, Chandler, and Meister are going to all take a seat on the bench for the Comets as Larson sinks his 2nd free throw. Heyman inbounds it. Stolen by Larson into Meyer. Spins back around. Chauvin gets it back to Meyer. Back to Chauvin. He's going to give it to Larson. Quick pass into the paint. And that's going to be no good. Matthew Romero comes up with it. Gus Blood grabs that. And another bad pass by the Lions. Intercepted by the Comets. The layup's no good, but the Lions are not able to come up with the rebounds, or with the rebound, and it's going to go off the hands of Eamon Martin. The ball's going to stay with the Comets.
Lions struggling right now, just falling apart. Eamon turned it over on the inbounds pass, and then right there, Noam was able to rebound. Eamon does get the rebound there. Pulls away, is going to get called for a travel. He had to pick up his dribble because he was probably going to get fouled by Meyer.
And right there, it was Eamon and Blaze, and I was really looking forward to maybe a dunk. This is probably not the best time to do that, but Blaze was open, had the open lane, didn't take it. There's going to be a turnover. I'm surprised that Eamon was able to keep hold of that ball, but it has resulted in a travel. That's an easy shot for the Comets. Still putting points on the board. Lions trying to break this press. Gus Blood gets it over to Matthew Romero. Matthew pulls out, and he gives it to Eamon. Eamon gives it to Gus Blood in the paint. Finds Eamon Martin over there, over in the wing, and there we go. He knocks down a 3, 34-49. Meyer into the paint to Jurdes, and he's going to double dribble. Lions ball.
Lions
just under 2 minutes.
Down by 15.
Eamon Martin gets it to Charles Prather. Charles Prather gets it to Matthew Romero. Eamon Martin holding on to it. Gets past the 10-second line. Minute 48 left in the game. Over to Eamon Martin. Off the hands of Paxton. Ball's going to stay with the Lions.
Eamon getting ready to inbound. Sees Blaze in the corner. Blaze trapped now. He dribbles up to free up some space. Eamon holding it now. Blaze in the corner, doesn't take the 3. He missed 2 threes from that same spot earlier. Matthew, nice pass to Eamon, and he makes that 3 as well.
And Eamon starts to knock down his 3s. Larson now with it. Comets ball. Hard pass into the paint, and that's going to be no good. Charles Prather is going to come up with it, but stripped right out of his hands. And the Comets are going to put it in for another 2. Seems like every single time the Lions are able to put points on the board, the Comets come down and put their own points on the board. Eamon holding on to it. Dribbles over. Keeps a hold of it. Finds Charles Prather. Charles gets it to Eamon. Picked off by 23 going the other way. Blaze wanted the charge, but nothing happens. Matthew finally comes up with the rebounds. Eamon Martin going the other way. Nice Euro step. An attempted charge. Gus Blood gets the rebound. He's blocked. Eamon Martin spins around. Jumper. And he's going to be fouled. He's going to the free throw line. A couple crazy shots there. Elijah Hall looking to check back into the game. So is Daniel Bergman. Eamon Martin lines up, takes his free throw, and that's going to go hard. And that's going to fall in. Looks like it was going to bounce out, but it falls. Charles takes a seat as Elijah comes in, and Eamon's second free throw is not going to be good. Elijah Hall is going to trip on Paxton and fall over. The Comets are going to come up with the rebounds. Meyer holding on to it. 20 seconds left. Larson gets it to the top of the key, and Eamon Martin's going to shove him over. And they're going to the free throw line.
Looked like Chandler might have exaggerated that a little bit. Eamon hit him, and then once he hit the ground, he kind of flailed his arms backwards. But, oh, I'm sorry, that was number 23, Meister, not Chandler. His first free throw, no good. Elijah Hall with the rebound, but he passes it out of bounds over the head of Romero.
11.9 seconds. Elijah with a nice rebound, but just not able to connect with Matthew for the pass. Comets ball. Most likely the last possession of the game. Meyer's going to take it up. Larson being picked up by Blaze. He's going to poke it out. 4 seconds left. Comets ball. Inbounds it to Chauvin. And he's just going to hold on to the ball for the last second of the game. And the Clifton Central Comets are going to come away with the victory after the Lions came off with a promising lead in the beginning of the first quarter. The Comets were able to claw back at the scoreboard and eventually take the lead. A tough loss for the Lions.
That was really disappointing because they started off so strong. Fitzpatrick with the threes, but then once that lineup came out and Eamon had to move to the backcourt, everything just kind of fell apart.
However, our next game is on Friday. It's against Georgetown.
That game, you know, it's a big rivalry game. We're going to be playing Georgetown at their place this time. JV is going to be at 6 and varsity is going to be at 7:30, so definitely turn in to watch that game. But until then, I'm Kevin Quigley with Michael McCall. Thank you for watching and have a good night.